Hello and welcome to Stylist Chats with Creatives. Today on the episode, I've got Cicely Jackson. Hello and welcome to the pod.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How are you doing? You good?
Yeah, really good. Excited for Christmas. It's the shortest day of the year today, so hoping for brighter days.
Oh my God, I can't wait for the longer evenings just to actually do stuff in the evening without this dark cloud of, it's just so dark.
We went out yesterday, it was 3:30 and the sun was setting. I was like, it's 3:30, but it's all up from here, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Are you, have you been doing much in your allotment or have you just covered it and let it go?
No, we need to cover it. We've not covered it. But, so you've got to be on the allotment you need to be seen to be doing stuff on the allotment, but obviously because we have the chickens, we're there every day anyway. So, giving them a really good clean out today. And I think our allotment neighbour keeps planting stuff for us on the allotment, so we might have some winter things in. She basically grows everything in her house, and then whatever she has extra, she plants for us. So I think we've looked out there, haven't we?
You absolutely have.
Better allotment neighbour.
That's so good. Our allotment neighbours were just like, "Oh, you've got so many weeds." We were like, "Oh, right."
Well, they're pretty strict, to be fair. These two, they do hold us accountable for the weeds and stuff. But yeah, they are good. They're good ones.
Oh, it sounds so nice, so cute.
Yeah, you want to be in with them. They pretty much look down on everyone else on the allotment. So if you're on their side, get planted on the allotment for you.
You'll have surprise garlic and onions and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Did we have all these courgettes? And it was her just obviously trying to get rid of all the courgettes. No one wants them, do they?
That's so cute. Oh, that's so cute. Are the kids still enjoying going down and feeding the chickens and sorting the chickens out and stuff?
Yeah, they are. We had basically, it seems like if you have chickens, then you might get mites, and we ended up getting mites this year, and it's kind of it was quite tricky because we'd have to be up at the allotment and then strip off all our clothes as soon as we got in the house because you didn't want to bring in mites into the house. Abel ended up bringing mites into his cot, which wasn't good. So it's kind of taking us a while to, Josh would still go every day to sort out the chickens, but it was a lot more of a faff for me to go with the kids. But I think we're getting back into it now. And they only really like to go to mess with the mud and stuff, so I feel like this is the best time of year for them. As soon as we go, we've got a mud kitchen up there. Lilith's like, what bed can I go in? Where can I get the mud from? And so this is where it's good for them, really, I think.
Yeah.
The summer for me. I like it for the summer and looking at the flowers but yeah.
Oh, bless them. I've been seeing all of your Christmas crafts on your Instagram and your Christmas crackers and stuff. They look so good.
I know. I'm really, really feeling Christmas this year. I think before I had kids, I didn't like Christmas at all. It just was not for me. And then obviously the last 2 Christmases have been really fraught with stress and not being able to see people. And I feel like this one, I'm clinging on to it. We must protect this Christmas at all costs. I had Lilith off school for the last week of term. I was just don't go in because everyone was really sick, and I'm I don't want you to be sick. I just want us all to have a really good Christmas. And I think I've gone in with the crafts this year, but I think part of it is obviously my job. I do get paid to do some Christmas crafts, so that's lucky. But then also money as well. I went to the range the other day to see if I could find some Christmas hats to go in our crackers. They were no, we don't sell anything like that. So then I looked online and it was all Christmas hats on Amazon. I was actually, I don't really want to pay for someone. I don't want to buy Christmas hats off Amazon. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay money. So I'm I could just make these Christmas hats. And I feel that's where a lot of the inspiration for making stuff comes from, is that I have all this stuff in my house that I can just make whatever I want. And that's a really nice realization. I say to Lilith all the time, I'm like, you can do hard things. And I'm like, say it back to me. And she's like, you can do hard things. And I'm like, if there's
Oh,
anything we need, like, we can just make things. And I feel like it's been a bit of a revelation this year. Like, we can just make anything. Anything we need. Like, I don't want to spend money on things. Like, I have the time to make things and the resources, and it's nice to like challenge yourself to do stuff as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You're making me want to do all my crafts as well. And like, well, under that blanket is all my craft stuff.
It is hard, isn't it, to find the time and like, carve out time to use your brain in a crafty way.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because even like your little toilet roll Christmas decks are so good, and I'm like, this looks so much fun and like relatively easy too. But like you say, it's carving that like half an hour out of your day to do it, or
absolutely.
like just setting that time aside.
I think as well, like, I know myself, and I know that I lose motivation really, really easily and really quickly. So if I have an idea of something that I want to do, like, I need to do it immediately, or I'll just fall out of love with the idea. So it's not always great, because I feel like I should be doing other things, or, you know, I should be having tea with Josh, but I'm like, I need to make a hat for this elf. And he's like, it's going cold. You know, can you do it after tea? I'm like, no. I'll just finish making this hat for this elf, and then.
Yeah, I get that though. If I don't finish it, I forget what I've done or what I was doing, and then I'm just gone. Yeah, I'm away with the fairies, literally.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to I want to get stuff done when I know that I'm motivated to do it, because once that goes, it's done, and like the activity's over, the inspiration's gone, and yeah,
massively. So how are you finding content creation? So you do it for yourself and for a couple of other smaller brands, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you find your inspiration from Pinterest, or is it just from crafting, or where do you find your inspiration for it?
More recently, I have been looking on Pinterest. I'd say like in the last month, I've started looking on Pinterest more. And for part of one of the brands that I work for, I do their Pinterest as well. But I kind of just saw that as a separate thing, you know, I'll be uploading stuff onto their Pinterest or putting the crafts onto their Pinterest. But I've only recently started looking, and there's loads of great stuff. Like, you could just go on it for hours and hours, couldn't you?
Yeah. I get lost in it for like literally weeks.
Yeah, just gorgeous stuff. Like, for a little bit, I did a little bit of work for a forest school, and I did their Pinterest for a little bit as well. And all the outdoor, like the nature crafts, are just absolutely divine. Like, I just saved so many pins, and it's all such simple stuff as well. It just looks so gorgeous. But yeah, aside from Pinterest, I think a lot of the inspiration comes from either stuff that I want to do, or, you know, techniques of things that I see around on Instagram and stuff like that, and think like I'd like to learn that, or I'd like to see how I could use that for. Obviously, a lot of the content is like seasonal crafts, like you know, Christmas at the minute. If I see something that looks like a really fun thing to do on Instagram or something, like thinking how I could use that for a seasonal bit of content. But yeah, I'd say Instagram is quite a good source of inspiration as well, really.
Yeah, there's so much on there now, actually. Like, there's loads of these. I follow like a still life page where I don't know how this person's photographing it, and how they're styling it, but they've got like loads of concrete blocks and they're balancing stuff off, and I'm like trying to figure out like how they've done it, and it must be like acrylic poles or something. But it's so incredible. Some of the content's so incredible.
That's so funny. Like, as your job as a stylist, like, it kind of takes the fun away of like looking at an image, thinking that's great. Like, your first thing is like, oh, have they edited out? Is there wires? Like, have they edited out the wires? Like, have they done it afterwards? Like, what's real? Like, you'd never think you'd never think of that if you didn't
No.
do that job, would you?
No,
Like,
exactly.
I remember when I started styling, and a lot of it was on mannequins, and I was explaining to my sister about arm gaps, and I'd like taken her onto a website and was like look at these arm gaps, like these aren't the same, like you really want to be making like a really good like symmetrical arm gap. And she's like, what is this? And I'm like, all I can see is arm gaps, like whatever I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Who's done that?
It's so funny, isn't it? It's like, and I can tell when I was working for a big department store, I could tell who had styled what.
Really?
Like, yeah, and it isn't that weird.
That's really funny, isn't it?
Yeah, where you're just like, oh, well, that must have been Cicely, or that was so and so, and you're like, hold on, that's just too fucking weird. I'm too involved
Or
here.
like stuff like, would be a cutout. You're like, oh, if they've done that on a mannequin, poly arms. They must have poly arms in that. Oh, they must have tissue. How have they done that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole like figuring it out, and you're going like, oh, well, like you say, have they wired that? Have they?
Yeah.
What? How have they done that bit? And how have they done that? And is there acetate somewhere? Or... yeah.
Like a real human's wearing it. It's fantastic.
I remember having to do suit jackets and having to stuff the arms.
Yeah.
And we had to make the arms look a specific way. And we were shooting onto card. So this was with Beth at the place we were at. And I remember just thinking, like, there's got to be an easier way than this.
Poor you doing the suit jackets. Poor you.
Oh, God. I don't know how I got bloody lumped with that, to be honest.
My skill was suit trousers. I was really good at wiring the legs of suit trousers, so that basically got me out of doing any suit jackets. Except I'll take the trousers, don't worry. Like I'll get on that. Don't worry about that. Because the suit jackets were the worst, weren't they? Like making the tissue arms.
Yeah, the whole lot. It seemed like an awful lot of work.
Yeah, polyarm, wrapped in tissue, or you need some scrumble tissue and then smooth tissue.
Oh my
How
God.
ridiculous! There should be an easier way.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
so thankful for those suit trousers, though. Like I'd be like, I'll do them all. Don't worry.
Yeah,
give me the rail of the suit trousers. You don't have to do it.
I remember at a different place as well, one of the senior stylists gave me 2 safety pins and then a massive elastic band in between them, and was like, we pin from inside seam to outside seam of the trouser legs on the mannequin and just go round with the under the mannequin with the elastic band. Yeah, so it'd pull these trousers like completely straight, and you wouldn't end up with any like crotch wrinkles or anything. Amazing, but it took so long. And I'd just be like, can I not just do it a different way to make my life quicker? And they'd be like, no, this is just the way we do it.
Did you feel like you had to do that, like, because you've been given this advice, like that's what you have to do?
Yeah, and you're like, I was quite young as well at the time, so I was like, oh, all right, I'll do it your way. And like now, I mean, it was a good way for like suit trousers, it probably would have worked as well, but you just think, oh, Jesus, there's got to be a different way to this. Like... what the hell?
The thing is, it just is so lost on like whoever is viewing the image as well. Like,
yeah,
you wouldn't think like, oh, there's like 10 bits of fishing wire and all this gaffer tape, like sticking it to the floor to try and like pull the trousers. Like, it's so lost on the viewer, isn't it?
Yeah, they like literally. We used to say like the viewers don't care.
No.
As long as it looks vaguely neat and tidy and they can kind of see what it's going to look like on them, they don't really care.
It's funny, like, I think that, like, when from working at that place, like, and obviously I quite enjoyed doing the suit trousers, like, there'd be one thing that one person would be really good at and love doing. Like, so you'd know, like, oh, we've got a load of that in, so-and-so is good at that, they can do that. Like, or, like, people would be really good at pin-ups, like I wasn't. Really did not enjoy that, but like there's people that are really good at doing that. You can do that, like.
Yeah, I think that's good when it's in a big kind of agency like that as well, because you then pick on certain people's skills, and like you say, you can funnel work to different people as well.
Yeah,
but, yeah. I've been doing a lot of pin-up actually recently, but it's not with double-sided tape.
Do you enjoy it? Do you get joy?
Yeah, I don't know how, Cicely. I don't know how, but I'm probably the only person who enjoys a bit of still life. But I find it quite therapeutic, you know. I can race through a rail and I'm like, bum, 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 bum.
Like, I do enjoy still life. Like, I think, like, when the kids are older and, like, you know, I don't need to be as available, you know, for school drop off and pick up and stuff. I'm like, I'd love to go back into styling, but, like, stipulate only still life.
Yeah.
Like,
this
just
is
the monotonous, like, a rail of stuff.
Yeah.
Just, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, same. This is pretty much what I'm doing now. So I'm just doing still life. I don't shoot model. I do interiors and creative still life and e-com still life.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't enjoy the model. Like,
yeah.
Also, I think like I've hit an age where I'm like, oh, I love a chat. Obviously, we're here.
Yeah.
But on set, it's completely different. It's so tiring.
Yeah, it's a completely different social thing as well. Like in still life, where there's like where I worked, where there was people that were really good at doing a certain thing. Like that also is the same in fashion as well, isn't it? Yeah. And there was people who are much better in social situations, or you know, being able to talk to loads of different people, and like. I think, there's the people that find that like more natural and enjoyable.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think, to be honest, I've done my fair share of like kids, like mostly using the kids as a prop almost for like scooters and stuff. And some of these kid models, like their behaviour's just awful.
Really?
Yeah. I've had like kids throw toys at me and stuff. Yeah.
Like I did before I left, I used to do a fair bit of the kids styling, but it was the clothes. But they were all like six and under. And
okay.
Yeah, there wasn't anyone that was too. I remember there was one person that I was thinking, wow, like you have a really different life, or like different upbringing. Like I think she was saying, I think me and my sister laugh about it all the time. Like I think she said something like, oh, my legs are just tired. I've been sitting on my horse all day and I'm just... And then she's like here on set, you know, doing these clothes. I'm like, wow, like you're 6 years old. Like, what a life.
My legs are
amazing life. I'm so tired.
From sitting on my horse at 6. Like, Jesus Christ.
What a life.
Fucking hell.
I know. She must have just wanted me to know that she had a horse, wasn't she? And she's like, how can I say it? Like, oh, I know.
Yeah, like, just, sometimes they're just hilarious. Like, we had one little boy who kept coming back, but he kind of forgot who people were on set, even though I'd styled him like 100 times. And I'd be like, you know, you remember the tattoos and stuff? And he's like, and he had this little quizzical look on his face, and he's like, And I thought, you're playing me because you do know who I am. And then he's like, I know. Like,
it's such a funny life. Like now I'm thinking back to it and I'm like, oh, like you'd be looking at the call sheet and they're like, and maybe the oldest ones for this other job were maybe like 8 years, and you'd be like, they're coming in great, like they're really good, they'll come in, they'll do the job. I'm like, it's just bizarre when you start thinking about it. Like this is their lives and this is their jobs, and you can say about this 8-year-old that like, super professional, they're going to come in, do the job, no messing about.
Yeah, and they're like tiny. Like I've had models who are like in their 20s who piss about.
Yeah, well that's the thing.
Worse than them, like
so professional. Like they just come in and do like, well, let's get all the clothes on them. Like do as many clothes on them as you can because you know that you're going to get the shots.
Yeah, and they've got their little cycle of like one hand on the hip, then the other hand on the hip, and the little like. Do you remember the peanut? They used to call it the peanut, where they'd hold hands like this.
No.
And they'd put them in front of like in front of themselves. And
I know that. But I've never named it now.
So we just to fill the listeners in a little bit, the peanut is where you put all your fingertips together in the opposite way, I guess. It was kind of like a relaxed
like kind of do
pose.
A figure of 8 pose with you.
Yeah.
Your fingers,
with your thumb and your fingers, interlocked. Interlocked, yeah, that's it. And it'd just be like on a few of these models, like pose repertoires, and you just see them like
really casual.
Yeah, like we're on lingerie and you're doing the little peanut.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
It's such a funny little world, isn't it?
Yeah, I really think it is. And it's like, Nath said to me the other day, he goes, don't you ever think that like millions of people see your work? And I was like, why have you told me that? I'm just going to go in an existential crisis.
It's true though, isn't it? It's true. Like, it goes so far, doesn't it? And
yeah.
Like, what you think is not actually important, like the suit jackets and stuff, like, it goes far, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a friend was doing, Aldi have done like a wreath this year on some of their point of sales and stuff. And she was doing that wreath and it was the biggest like pain. You could just tell she was just like, oh, this is so annoying. But like it has gone across so much points of sale and so far, millions of people have seen it. And it's like, I know the girl who styled that and I know the person who shot it. Like, what's my world? Like,
that's mad, isn't it? It's so funny. Or when I'm out and about in supermarkets and you see like a model that you'd work with and you're like, like, that's so funny, isn't it? That they're just like advertising these leggings or like walking boots in a supermarket. It's really funny, isn't it?
Yeah. You must find it, because Josh, your husband, is also in the industry, you guys must find that quite easy because you both know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
When I walked in the supermarket and saw a model that I'd worked with for years, and again on a point of sale, and I went to Nath like, oh my God, there's like Duncan and he's so lovely and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I don't fucking know who Duncan is. Yeah.
Not important to me.
Yeah, not important. Don't really care. He looks nice in that suit.
Yeah. Now you say that is true. And like the arm gap thing, I could say this to Josh.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes I remember a photographer saying to me once that he used to like to look in, if it was pictures of spoons or cutlery, he'd like to look to see if he could see anyone in the cutlery, and I always do that now. Like, see any reflective surface in anything, I'm like, ooh, have they retouched it out? Or like, what can you see? Can you see a polyboard? A lampstand?
Yeah, it's so funny. I think there's a few photographers who say to me they try and get their face into some of these things to see if it gets retouched out.
So funny. I love that. I also remember a stylist, a freelance stylist that used to come in that was a really mysterious character. And like the legend around them was that they dressed head to toe in black. I don't know if you know who it is. But like the rumour is purely because they didn't want to reflect onto the clothes, like onto the still life, onto the mannequin or anything, so they'd only wear black. And at the time I was like, oh, whatever, but I've recently got an hoodie that's bright red, and everything that I take pictures of has a bright red glow, and I'm like, I should have listened to them. I need to be wearing all black to take these pictures. He was right, the rumours were true.
Yeah, I do think like often when I'm wearing bright stuff like my bright Lucy-Nyacs or something, I think like, oh, fuck's sake, Charlotte, why have you done that? Now you've got to step really far out of set. Like, it's annoying.
You need to be more like them, the legend.
Yeah, definitely. I went on a film set recently and I was helping a friend with wardrobe and just steaming and stuff and getting people ready. And I wore like my leopard print dungas and like I've got a bright green roll neck hoodie and like a big jacket because it was cold on set. And then I said to her, I went, oh, I've gone for the duller dungarees today. And she was like, but you didn't dull down on the bloody jumper, did you?
I was going to say the leopard dungas are still quite a choice. It's like they're still out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tone down though.
Yeah, that's it. They're more within the grey areas. Oh, go fetch.
It's a glitch with our doorbell that if someone locks their car with their keys outside, it plays that chime.
Oh, really?
But if someone rings the doorbell, it just says bing bong. But if anyone on the street near our house locks the door, then it plays that noise.
How weird.
I know. The kids are always really alarmed. They're like, "Who's at the door?" I'm like, "It's just someone locking their car." The car don't know it.
At least the whole street knows that you know they've locked their car.
Well, that's the thing. You can hear it outside. I'm like, oh my God. People are going to be like, what is that noise in their house?
Oh dear. So another question for you that I've got is about your charity shop finds. I want to know, right? You seem to be the queen of charity shop finds. And I want to know, do you have like a list that you like manifest of things? Say like if the kids need some new shoes and it's on your list, or do you just hit and hope and go in and hope that there's something there?
Well, I'm head to toe charity shop today. Got these trousers and top from charity shop. Yes, I do write a list, but only because I can't remember stuff very well. But yeah, like I have a general list, or Josh will ask me to look out for stuff, or like Lilith at the minute needs wellies. And because I go to so many in the week, like I go to a few villages, our village at least twice, because there's such a big turnaround of stock as well. I guess there's not loads of other shops in the village, so you just do have to go into the charity shops. So yeah, there's such a high turnaround of stuff that I feel like I need to go minimum twice, because I don't want to miss out on all the stuff. Like I drive through the village, I'm like longingly looking in the windows like, no, you went yesterday, don't do it. Like, just wait another day and then we can go again. But yeah, I definitely write a list and then look at it before I go into the shops. And then I also have a policy of, if I buy something, then I try to put something, like give something back to charity from the house. So if I buy Lilith a top, I'll have to get rid of one of the tops, because I think that has reined me in a lot, because I did go through a phase of over-consuming in the charity shop. Because you only get one chance, don't you? It's there, and it will be gone. Like, more often than not, it will be gone next time you go. So I'd just be, like, blindly buying things because I really wanted them and I didn't want them to be gone. But yeah, I've reined myself in now, and I have this rule, so it really makes me consider if I need it, because I will be having to get rid of something. Which I managed to do a lot, apart from kids' books. I get so many kids' books from the charity shop because you just can't have enough books, but we have so many books and I don't really want to get rid of any, but I must buy so many every week because I just love kids' books. I love buying books from when I was a kid, and I guess that like loads of those are ones that are donated, like that people are clearing out their houses or like their attics, and so I'm always finding ones from when I was a kid, and I have to get them. But yeah, I'm always really conscious, like, don't need to be over consuming, like, don't need to be doing hauls of charity shop stuff, but there's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
And like, if you need whatever you need, it will be in the charity shop. Like, I do not buy things new because I just know that I will find it. Especially there's so many around here as well. Like, you will find whatever you need. Apart from Josh is after a black fleece, and it's been on my list for about a month, and there are none.
Oh man!
Apart from that, yeah. Yeah,
I love the charity shops in Holmfirth. They're so good.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they? It's just got people. There's obviously some fancy people donating some good quality stuff around here. When I share it on my Instagram, a lot of people are saying, my charity shops aren't like that. Like, there's only rubbish stuff. But I do think if you think like that about charity shops, then you won't be going once or twice a week, will you? Because I think like people like me are going in and swiping up all the good stuff, and then like, maybe it is just left with rubbish stuff. But if you go all the time and commit to it, you'll start seeing all the good stuff. But I do think we're blessed around here, aren't we?
Yeah.
With some great ones.
Yeah, I found a salt lamp in one of the charity shops for £4.
Oh, I would have got that if I saw that.
I was like, I've wanted a salt lamp.
I'm going to put one of them on my list.
Yeah, do it, because I've wanted one for bloody ages, and I thought, fuck that, I'm not paying like 40 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I went looking in for a little basket to go on the stairs to put our hats and gloves in. And didn't find one of those, but found a salt lamp.
I was going to say, they're rife. Baskets are rife in the charity.
Yeah, I was looking and I was like, not the kind of thing that I wanted, and just, and then found that.
I'm so jealous.
Oh,
I'm really jealous about that.
I'll send you a picture when we're done, because you'll like it. It's got such a nice glow as well.
Oh,
and
that sounds fabulous. Oh, look, if you see one, get one for me. If you see one.
I will do. Yeah, I will do for sure. I'm not in as many times as you, but I am trying to do like once a week or something. And similarly to you, I try not to despite there being behind my head, a whole rack of beer and whiskey and stuff. I'm try and get rid of some stuff before I go and buy more, because otherwise, you end up with loads of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, actually, how often am I wearing it? How often are we using that thing? Or,
Like, I'm good with myself, with buying clothes. I'm really, really strict with myself, because I'm like, I do have enough clothes.
Yeah.
Like I bought a cardigan last week and I was umming and ahhing for ages, and I've worn it like 5 days in a row or something. So I'm like, amazing. I did need that. I needed that, so that's fine. But I do find with the kids, Lilith has so many T-shirts in a wardrobe, and they're all from the charity shop. So I can't even look for T-shirts. But I have started posting stuff on my Instagram to see if anyone else wants it, like while I'm out and about. And a lot of the time, someone does get back to me. So I feel like that's nice as well, like spreading our good charity shops with the rest of the UK.
Yeah, that's really nice. I've seen you doing that, especially with some of the baby clothes and stuff, because I feel like the baby stuff, they grow so quick.
Yeah.
That actually, like, getting it from a charity shop makes perfect sense, because they're probably going to be sick on it, pooing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been trying harder and harder as well to try and gift stuff from the charity shop, because even, like, I think there is, like, a bit of a stigma around it, like, gifting second-hand stuff. And, like, even in my head, I'm like, oh, that'd be a really good gift, but would someone feel weird about me giving it? Like, would that be weird? So this year I've tried really hard to look for things. Like I always do for the kids anyway for Christmas, like most of their stuff's from the charity shop. I have been trying hard to find things that will be good for gifts. Because it just still feels a bit funny. But yeah, it definitely with baby stuff and kid stuff, it's so cheap in the charity shop as well that even if I'm posting it to someone, it's still only like £4 for something.
Yeah.
Rather than, someone buying it new. And yeah, like even things on Vinted and stuff, like they're so cheap, aren't they? Like there's just no reason to buy a ton of stuff new at all. No. Vinted especially, it has never let me down. Like if there is anything that I've ever wanted and typed it into Vinted, it's always there.
Yeah.
Like anything I could ever want, I just like to browse it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like once a month or like once a week, I'm like, oh, what's this on Vinted, or what's this on Vinted?
Yeah.
Or like, and then I save stuff and then I'm like, right, I've been paid today. Let's see what's
saved, what's not gone.
Yeah, what's not gone.
For Lazy Oaf and Lucy and Yak on Vinted, just to see if there's like a really good deal, like a really good bargain. Like I save so much stuff off those, and then hope that if I save it, I might get a message being like, I've knocked £2 off it.
Yeah. I love those messages where they're like, I've knocked a £5 off, and you're like, yes, that's what I wanted.
It's fallen right into my trap. That's the only reason I saved it.
Yeah, definitely. I did that with some Doc sandals over the summer. So I didn't want to buy new because, there's no point. And I was looking on Vinted and then looked for ages. And then the perfect pair showed up. They'd been worn like twice, buttery soft. And they were like, I think they were £40 instead of 80.
That's so
and I was like,
good.
Yeah, like just so elated because
winner.
Why not? They'll last me years.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Absolutely. There's so much stuff already out there, isn't there? Like there's so much stuff. I was having a discussion with one of the managers in the charity shop the other day, and I was like banging on, being like, you don't need to buy anything new. And she was like, but don't you think people need to buy things new so that there's still stuff in the charity shop? Like she was like, someone has to buy it new. because it's got to, so then it could stock the charity shop. I was like, all right. There's still loads of stuff out there, though.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty to go around.
More than enough to go around, I think. And I think circling back to your charity shops as things as gifts, like I bought my little nephew last year, like a virtually brand new wooden crane thing. And I think it cost me £4. And it was like my sister. Yeah, it's so good. My sister opened it and was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, and I was like, yeah, it's from charity shop. Like, he's not going to know any different.
No.
You know.
And like kids go off toys so fast as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Like I find Christmas really funny because I'm like, it just all makes me feel a bit icky. And I'm trying to find like the root of this problem because I'm like, I know that I, as a kid, would get lots of presents and I'd really enjoy them, and like I don't want to like hold the kids back from experiencing that, but you know, because all we do is shop in charity shops. Like a lot of the time, I'll say to the kids, "Yeah, you can have that," and we'll give away something that's at home, like. And that's a good way to rein the kids in as well. Like, yes, if you love that, then good, but think about what you're going to get rid of. So they get stuff all year, and I just find, like, oh, it just makes me feel really uncomfortable, like just over-consuming and, you know, mountains of presents, like, for no reason. But I'm really trying to, like, I'm trying. Like I try and voice all this to Josh and he's like, yeah, but it's Christmas. Like, don't you have lovely memories of Christmas? I'm like, I do, but the planet's burning.
No,
I need to overconsume.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like me and Nath now just buy gig tickets or something. We don't really buy anything for each other. Yeah, we just both put a bit of money in the joint account and then sit together, buy tickets up to that value, and then that's it for stuff for the next year.
I love that. That's really nice.
So you get time rather than opening loads of presents.
Yeah, because my dad does that as well, to be honest. Like he's got, like, in the past he's got like me and Josh a ticket to a show or something like that, which is much better because like whatever you get off people, like half of it I just end up giving to the charity shop, you know, because it's just I don't need anything. I think I'm a really annoying person because I'm like, I don't need anything. I have everything that I have, like that I need in the house, and there's nothing I need. So yeah, an experience or like time, quality time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. We're the same though because we've downsized in our house this year, and as you can see, I'm in the loft room. Like we've got like I call it the Harry Potter cupboard because that cupboard fits a lot of shit. But like we've literally got that, and then like a little bit of cellar space in front of the fire, and it's not somewhere I want to go and deep dive for stuff. So like Christmas decorations are down there. So like I've just said to people, like, be aware about what you're gifting us because we've got to find space for it. And if there's no space for it, it's like, don't buy it. Because otherwise, like, I love, like, similar to what you've got there in your living room, like we've got loads of like gallery walls and like, artwork and like little trinkets, but I've got to dust it. And B, we've got to find somewhere to put it. I think it's so different from our old house was a 3-bed house with a loft. So we had space, but then, you know, we also put stuff in the loft that we didn't see for 5 years. So what's the point in having it? Absolutely. Like, I think, like, it's such a good rule to live by as well, isn't it? Like, look, if I've not used it for a year, 2 years, like, you don't need it, do you? No.
My friend recently sold their house and they're living in a caravan. I keep thinking, like, you must have been cutthroat. Like, just getting rid of, like, everything, like, pretty much everything. You must have to be so cutthroat to be able to do that. And, like, really, really aware of, like, what you use and, like, your essentials.
Yeah. I think, like, before we moved up north, actually, we just had one car and a Luton van, and anything that fit in the car and the van, if it didn't fit, it didn't come with us.
Really?
And we did that rule again when we moved, and then we went to the charity shop again with stuff that we thought we wanted when we'd moved and we didn't use.
Yeah.
And do you know, the removal guys were like, holy shit, we've never seen people pack a 3-bed house into a Luton van and we had 2 cars this time, but Naif's had the TV in and mine had the house plants in, and everything else was just in the in the van. And they were like, how have you got rid of all this stuff? And I was like, we don't need it. It's gone.
No.
No. I think, have you ever read the Marie Kondo books, like How to Tidy or something? They're quite good books because I think she's Japanese, and I think she has this way of like going through stuff, and if it brings you joy, you keep it, and then either donate or keep or whatever, or sell. So I did that years ago with my clothes, and now I do a 1 in, 1 out, similar to what we were just talking about, and then have the odd thing there. I'm like, can't resist, like these leopard print dungarees.
Yeah,
they were just necessary. Yeah. But then I did that on the whole house, and Naif loves like a gadget, and I'm like, hun, the kitchen's smaller. Do we really need a cheese toaster and a like magnitude of gadgets?
Yeah, choose one.
Yeah, just choose like a handful and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think you've also, if your house is so cluttered or like you've just got loads of things, I find it makes me more anxious.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like a mess as well. Like if I can't, so like with the kids, I find it really easy to get overstimulated when I can't see the floor or I can't walk in a clear path from like one room to the other. Like it's really really triggering. Like it's just, I have to like take myself out and be like, right, it's okay. Like we can control this mess.
Yeah. I find the same. Like Nath can sit down and chill out before he tidies the house, whereas I'm like, right, I need to tidy a bit and then I can sit and chill out. Yeah.
I can't sit and watch TV and chill out if there's stuff all over in front of the TV. Like there's no way. Like if I can see stuff out the corner of my eye, I'm like, it's not done. Like the day is not done yet. I need to solve it so I can relax.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't know whether it's because we think about so much while we're at work or like creating that then like it's nice to have nothing to think about aside from just watching the telly or social media or whatever.
Definitely.
It's nice to hear that I'm not the only one who can't sit with mess. Sometimes I look at the dog. Hard agree. I mean, I don't have kids' toys, but the dog's toys, it's just like, I'm like, hun, why are all these toys out? Trip hazard from the sofa to the kitchen. Like,
can he help put them away? Does he help put them away?
She'll bring stuff in from outside. So her favourite toy is like a 4-foot rope. So I'll say, it must sound so dodgy, but I'm like, bring Ropey in. And so I'm like, she's bringing a rope toy in and it goes in between her legs. So she's like waddling in between her legs. She's not great at putting them away, no.
Bring Ropey in.
Yeah, but I'm sure that some of the neighbours are like, why is she shouting rapey? I'm like, oh God, like... They did actually. This is quite a funny story, but Naif was upstairs in our bedroom, and it overlooks the garden. And he saw the dog in the garden, and he opened the window and was like, "Stop eating your own fucking shit!" and like slammed the window. And this was like 6 weeks after we'd moved into this house. No! Oh my God, the neighbours must think we're such heathens. Like,
oh God, no!
I don't even know if she was eating her own poo or whether she was just sniffing to like go to the toilet, but like thought, oh no, we're going to be the like troublesome neighbours.
Oh my God. Oh, I'd be mortified.
Oh, I was like, you're so embarrassing. Why didn't you just go down and fetch her?
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Window.
Yeah, like, hun. There's always one, isn't there? We have looked out though. We've got some really nice neighbours, so that's good. We've actually got nice neighbours.
Oh, that's good. That's very lucky.
Yeah. Considering our old ones, they were just hideous. Jesus.
Oh no. Yeah, you're really lucky if you have neighbours that you can actually chat to, and like, I think living in this house, this is the first place that we've really like known our neighbours. And unfortunately, though, the last house, since moving, I've ended up getting to know our neighbour more, and she's so cool and really creative, loves sewing, and like, why didn't I know any of this about you when we lived next door? Like, we could have been real friends. But yeah, I'm friendlier with her now. Now I don't live next door. Yeah, we've got some nice ones around here as well.
Yeah, same. I think it's the Yorkshire people. They're all much nicer.
Yeah.
And,
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I caught my our next door neighbour directly to us. He's like in his 70s, like lives on his own. And in the summer when it was really hot, he'd got his little like sun lounger out, and I thought, oh, he's being dead cute, put his radio on. I shit you not, Cicely, he was suntanning in his slippers, his jeans, his t-shirt and his Yorkshire flat cap. Yeah, he just sunbathed fully clothed. I was like, John, I just love you. Just love you.
I thought that you were going to say he was sunbathing in his slippers and his hat, but like, that's it. Oh my God.
I'm not sure my eyes would have coped with that. Bless him. Bless him. But he's so cute. He's so cute. Oh, well, it has been absolutely lovely speaking to you today, Cicely.
You too. It was nice to have a little catch up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. So yeah, thank you very much for chatting, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas.
You too.
Because we're recording before Christmas. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely Christmas, and send my love to the kids and Josh, and I just hope you have a great time.
Oh,
thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's been lovely. Thanks so much. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please rate, follow and share, as it really helps this little podcast out. And if you have found value in the podcast and you have the means to, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. This will help keep the podcast going. Join me next week for another fantastic guest. Bye.